called themselves the Sarkeen Collective, a coalition of technologically advanced alien species, bound not by friendship but by a shared goal: expansion through domination. Their fleets spanned galaxies, and their mercenaries were legends: biomechanical assassins, neural disruptors, shape-shifting hunters. Civilizations that resisted were obliterated, and those that surrendered were enslaved. The Sarkeen had crushed dozens of planets without pause. That is, until they encountered Earth, a planet they later classified as a Deathworld. At first, Earth seemed unremarkable. Mid-tier technology, primitive spaceflight, infighting nations, fragile ecosystems. But then came the reports. Mercenaries sent to scout and destabilize returned broken, if they returned at all. Deathworlder Special Forces. One of the mercenaries mumbled, his voice trembling, his limbs twitching with phantom pain. The words spread like wildfire through the ranks of the Sarkeen armies. To most mercenaries, death was a familiar companion. But fear, true, paralyzing, stomach-clenching terror, that was something only the Deathworlders could inspire. It began on Outpost Kirov, a Sarkeen-established mining station on a small moon orbiting Saturn. The collective had deployed a detachment of 12 Slarx hunters, reptilian predators enhanced with cloaking abilities and acid-laced claws. They were apex killers, proven across dozens of worlds. None of them returned. What did return was a communication signal intercepted by Sarkeen Command. A garbled recording, playing on loop. "If you think we're the same as the last world you conquered, you're already dead." It was signed Human Special Operations Command. The Sarkeen had never encountered resistance like this. They deployed another unit, 24 Boric assassins this time, genetically engineered for zero remorse, capable of surviving in vacuum and slicing through steel with bare claws. They too vanished. Then came the rumors. Whispers passed from mercenary to mercenary, spread in low tones around the gamma campfires of distant outposts. They hunt in silence. They don't sleep for days. They kill you with your own weapon. They laugh when wounded. They enjoy it. To the aliens, war had always been calculated, a matter of strategy, firepower, and attrition. But humans brought something else: chaos, rage, adaptability, the ability to turn defeat into vengeance. Their special forces didn't just fight. They thrived in pain, in uncertainty, in conditions that would mentally break even the most hardened mercenary. Zuhil, a veteran Sarkeen battle commander, had once raised 4 colonies in a single campaign. He had never lost a battle. Then his cruiser intercepted a distress beacon from a freighter in Martian orbit. Simple rescue mission, he thought. When his boarding crew entered, they found the freighter empty, save for severed limbs and blood smeared across the walls in erratic patterns. There were no signs of struggle, just silence. Then one of his lieutenants spotted something. 3 letters scratched into the metal hull with a combat knife. Sifo. Zuhil tried to pull his team out. Too late. From the shadows they came. One by one, silent as wraiths. They didn't use plasma rifles or energy sabers. They fought with blades, fists, and explosives that turned metallic corridors into shrapnel-choked coffins. Zuhil watched his elite fall in minutes. When he woke, he was alone in his command ship, surrounded by the decapitated heads of his officers, their eyes still open. The message was clear. The Sarkeen began to take Earth more seriously. They launched a full-scale invasion. 1,000 mercenaries, drones, mechs, orbital bombardments. They targeted key cities: New York, London, Tokyo. But they didn't expect how humans fought back. They didn't anticipate the resilience, the rage. Civilians with makeshift weapons taking down scouts. Children luring drones into ambushes. Old veterans, long since retired, returning to battle in wheelchairs, sniping invaders from rooftops. And then the special forces emerged, not as a large army, but as shadows. Saboteurs, ghosts, hunters. They knew terrain like it was an extension of their bodies. They used every advantage. Cold weather, thin air, darkness, radiation. Things that would paralyze or kill other species only made humans stronger. There was Captain Elijah Grant, a Green Beret turned Special Ops commander. He had been declared Kia 3 times. He returned each time, scarred, laughing, and thirsting for more. They said he once took down a Sarkeen war beast with nothing but a pickaxe and a broken arm. Or Sergeant Rena Cho, ex-Navy SEAL, who infiltrated a floating mercenary city in orbit and collapsed the entire station by overloading its antimatter core, surviving by ejecting herself into vacuum and re-entering Earth's atmosphere in a reinforced escape pod she had built from scrap. The Sarkeen began to panic. Their mercenaries refused Earth assignments. They faked injuries. Some deserted. The word Deathworlder became synonymous with nightmare. Sarkeen commanders were forced to resort to conscription from fringe worlds, sending undertrained soldiers into battle against operatives who had trained in hell and learned to call it home. There was something unquantifiable about human special forces. It wasn't just their tactics or their strength. It was their spirit, their willingness to embrace madness, their humor in the face of annihilation. One intercepted recording between 2 human snipers, moments before they took out an entire alien squad, captured it perfectly. "Wanna bet I can shoot through that guy's eyeball? $10 says you miss and I get to make the kill. You're on. BLAM. God damn it, I owe you 10. That wasn't courage. That was joy. That was humanity at its most terrifying. Not because it was fearless, but because it enjoyed walking the edge of death." The final straw came on Varkon Delta, where the Sarkeen had tried to relocate their command hub, far from Earth. They thought they were safe, that the humans wouldn't reach them. They were wrong. A team of 6 humans infiltrated a fleet of over 5,000. They disabled the communications array, detonated the energy cores, and assassinated 3 high-ranking generals. The entire command structure of the collective collapsed in 12 hours. Only 1 human was captured alive, Lieutenant Marcus Vale. Tortured, interrogated, drugged. But he never gave them a name, a code, or a clue. Instead, he carved a single sentence into the wall of his cell with his broken fingernails. "If I die, 5 more will come." Then he bit through his own tongue and choked on his blood, smiling. After that, the Sarkeen retreated. They didn't surrender, they fled. Earth became a no-go zone, blacklisted from all mercenary charts. The phrase "Special Forces of the Deathworld" was added to mercenary training manuals as an immediate threat level. Not to be engaged, not to be provoked. And though Earth celebrated its strange victory, though humans rebuilt and returned to their chaotic normal, across the stars, in dark corners of cantinas and whispered mercenary lore, one thing remained constant. Whenever someone spoke of the fiercest killers in the galaxy, someone always asked, "Have you ever fought a Deathworlder?" To which the only sane response was, "Gods, no. I want to live."